Here it is, folks, less than 24 hours until decision time. How the markets open this week will be a decisive indication of where this plans to go over the next coming weeks and potentially give a very powerful momentum hint of what's to happen. Bitcoin continues to stay within this very small time frame symmetrical triangle for the past 2 days, and it looks like there will be a move out of this at some point shortly. If it breaks up, the target is extremely interesting to talk about, but if it breaks down, it's even more interesting. Will we see a double bottom type pattern to actually see this reversal? Or again, depending on how the markets open up tomorrow, is this going to be a much different story? We have many people saying that this huge increase of volume that you can see right here on the bottom of the screen is very good at spotting reversals. And a lot of people think that this was a necessary, extreme, but very useful sign that the market has found a bottom. However, I am not so sure that we have just yet. We have to take a look at this on the charts. And even more importantly, depending on how tomorrow opens up, it might allow us to actually continue to use TA, because as of the last few days, TA again has kind of flown out the window. Black Swan event absolutely erased so many things. Literally nobody knew that was coming. But over this next week, if we see some stabilization, we might be able to correctly chart some things here. But guys, this is absolutely crucial as well. The weekly will close here very shortly, and most likely what we'll need is to get a close above this 200-week moving average. Will we get it? If we do get it, it would be largely predominant on this breaking upwards, and then we would get a close. But guys, if we get the break downwards, that is a whole different story. Before you go to bed, make sure to kiss your mom goodnight, lock your door, lay on the floor, and fill up your socks until you just can't anymore. Let's do this. Wow, what is going on, my wimps and simps? Welcome back to another urgent, exciting episode of Bitcoin. Guys, Sundays are usually very important days, and today is no different. We have everything resting on the shoulders of the broader economy and the global economy. What's going to happen tomorrow? This event, everything going on with Bitcoin, tomorrow is such an important day, and we really want to talk about that. And primarily, we want to look at some basic TA, because as things kind of have slowed down over the past 2 days during the weekend, we can maybe show some analysis. But again, when tomorrow opens up, things are just going to go absolutely splash zone, okay? So we got to talk about that as well. And guys, this is a tweet I think is really important. I tweeted this yesterday. For people asking, what price will Bitcoin be tomorrow, next week, next month? I think people asking that are failing to realize that the game has most likely just completely changed. This is literal history in the making. There are people that are saying this is not even comparable to the Great Depression, what we've seen so far. Okay, this could be much more severe and much more fundamentally impactful than we've ever seen before. So for people to say, oh, the line broke through, you don't know anything. Yeah, maybe a fair game, but you have to realize as well, literally everybody that has a brain in the noggin has said this has been an absolutely mind-blowing week. Basically, nobody expected this. Anybody that said they did 100% expect this is lying through their teeth. And basically, guys, open your eyes. This is a fundamentally different new reality. This could end up being not a huge deal, but a lot of indications right now are showing this could be the biggest deal in the past 100 years, the biggest deal of an entire era, okay? This may be somewhat scary to people, but we also have to realize this type of event comes around very rarely, okay? Stay in the present and realize what we're living through and what we're about to live through. It is bigger than any of us, bigger than the amount of tissues that I use when a new Jimmy Neutron episode comes out. So guys, without any further ado, we are still giving away this ledger. Congrats to Muhammad on yesterday's victory. I will be having to ship that out of country, and I've already talked to him about that. I'm going to be doing that tomorrow, and if we run into any issues, we will just send Bitcoin. But guys, if you want to enter for this ledger, all you have to do is leave a comment below, like, subscribe, and ding the bell. And let's jump into these charts. So this is something we see playing out here. By the time this video gets uploaded, this could have already broken through. We actually had this drawn a little bit shorter yesterday, but it clearly didn't break out just yet. It looked like it wanted to. You can see that right around this area. But then again, it came right back into this area. So for right now, this pattern is still in play. A measured move down to about that $4,000 level would be the downside target, and a measured move up to about the 6,500 would be the upside target. So first off, let's talk about this upside target, because if that would be the case, we can take a look at this here on the daily chart. That would actually put us back to the very tippy top of this channel. So now that we're kind of back within the range of this channel that we were trading in for 7 months, after breaking straight through down here, this head and shoulders that just plummeted the Bitcoin price here, an upward move would actually put us to right at the top of this channel. So that could still indicate that we're still in this descending channel, which again, a break for right now, we would have to break this massive resistance to really get anything meaningful out of it. And as well, guys, what is something that you notice right around that $6,500 level? That's exactly right. You see a pretty significant amount of volume here in the VPVR, and you can see that for this entire range in here, there's basically not a lot. So the very biggest amount coming forward is going to be right in this area, which would also be the top of this channel. So if we did break up, the 6,500 for right now would be a very hard target to get above. There should be a lot of resistance right there. So I don't expect if we hit 65 to go straight up to 7 or 8,000, right? Now, another scenario on the downside that I think is really important here is we're currently trading at 5,400. Over the next week or so, if we manage to get any stabilization in the market, I think it would be key, whether we go up or not, I think it would be key for us to come down and even test this bottom line one more time before really getting a confirmation and trying to break out of this channel yet again. I think right now a double bottom pattern, which we've seen with a lot of this in the market, has been absolutely crucial to indicating a move. For example, we had a bottom here and then again here. Okay, so this is the first bottom. Second one right here, okay? Now we can actually go on this longer term time frame. You see the same thing. This is that double bottom that I just circled on that chart. You see it right here, these two bottoms. Same thing happened back here basically. Here and then here. This actually was more of a triple bottom. This actually tested the 200 weekly quite a few times before it went up, okay? So we could see something similar here, but this was over about 10 months, which would actually line up perfectly kind of with something like this. So we already have two here, maybe a touch here, and then another one here. But again, the most crucial thing right now is that we can get, and this will happen within the next 12 hours, actually less than that. We want to get a close, a weekly close above this 200-week moving average. If we actually go back, you guys can see that we've had areas where we go below that 200, and we do actually close some weekly candles below it. If we zoom in back here in 2015, you've seen about like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe even like 5 of them, but it was all hovering right there, closing right on that 200 weekly. So that's not a horrible sign in and of itself if we can't. But again, this would just be a lot better, a lot healthier for the market if we do get a close above it. Currently, that's around 5,500, and we're at 50. On this chart, it's about 51. We would just need a little bit more to get a close above that. And we can see that better on here. Okay, look, 53. And again, we need to get back to like 55 to close above this. So in the short term, we do expect a break one way or the other. These can swing very fast. So it could, fake us out very quick and go up and then just immediately shoot down, or vice versa. Looks like it's going down and shoot up. But again, whatever happens in the next 12 hours, I don't think is super important, considering that the stock market will again open up in less than 24 hours. And I think what direction that decides to go will for right now have a huge impact on what Bitcoin does. It'll give us a nice clue of what Bitcoin's going to do over the next week or so, maybe even the next month. Okay, this is a very, very pivotal time. And again, guys, at least we have this. You can see this massive volume on the VPVR is also where we found our current bottom, which is also kind of where we found the bottom back in 2018, 2019. So we have a lot to look at. We have this massive volume here. Is this actually a confirmation that we're going to get a reversal? Normally, I would say 100% yes. The only reason that I'm not as confident is because of exactly the time we're living in. It's literally unpredictable. If you go on to Twitter, if you go onto YouTube, if you go into TradingView, if you go onto Reddit, anybody with a respectable name, anybody that has somewhat of a reputation, anybody that has a brain in their head will tell you this thing could go either way right now. Nobody is saying for sure because it's impossible to know exactly which way it's going to go. But all we can do is look at the probabilities and really just look at overall where are we sitting and how bad is it right now. Picture it this way, okay? We're right in the middle of this large volume here and this volume here. You see we're right in the middle of this, okay? Could go basically either way. Now we just really have to pay attention here. If we would come back down and get a double bottom already, I think that would be a little too quick. I think it should actually play over a week or two instead of like right now, considering we've only been down here for a few days. If we did get one sooner, I think we could again go back down and maybe even touch that $3,000-$4,000 level again. So if we get a break up in the meantime, okay, maybe trade around a little bit and then a week or two from now, then come back and try and retouch that. I think that is the most bullish scenario right there. Absolutely huge. So guys, thanks so much for watching. And again, we are still doing this. It will not last much longer. When we add more course content, the price will be going up. But for right now, 50% off with the code Googer. Link is in the description.